Now I would like to invite the first speaker and group leader from the proposition team, Mihi from class 6, to present her opening statement. You have 3 minutes for the motion. Money is more important than happiness. You will have 3 minutes. So please welcome Mihi from class 6.
কোথায় দিবা তুমি?
Good morning, chief guests, moderators, judges, teachers, and my fellow friends. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Mihi, the leader for the motion Team Flame. Today, I stand here to firmly agree that money is indeed more important than happiness. Because without money, it would be hard for us to lead our life and survive. As the great philosopher George Bernard Shaw and American writer Mark Twain said, the lack of money is the root of all evil. We live in a world where survival itself has a price tag. Respected moderator, from the food we eat to the clothes we wear, from the shelter we live in to the education we receive. Without money, even the most basic human needs remain out of reach. How can anyone talk about happiness when they're hungry, homeless, or hopeless? According to a Harvard Business Review study, financial security contributes more to long-term well-being than momentary emotional joy. Money provides security, freedom, and stability from which happiness grows. Let us be realistic. Can anyone be happy when their debts pile up, when bills remain unpaid, when healthcare is unaffordable? Even the most strongest emotions fade away when faced with poverty and struggle. A 2023 study by Princeton University found that emotional well-being increases steadily with income because money provides stability, control, and choice, the key ingredients for a peaceful mind. Respected moderator, money doesn't just buy material things, it buys freedom, the freedom to choose your career, to travel, to support your family. Even acts of kindness and charity often requires financial resources. As Forbes, the American Business and Finance magazine, noted, you must have money before you can give it. So while happiness may be priceless, it is money that pays the price for everything that leads to it. For example, my mother becomes very happy when she buys a sari or anything that she likes. The whole atmosphere of her house suddenly changes. She suddenly becomes so nice with us, cooks her favorite dishes. This sudden change doesn't just happen with my mom. This change happens with everyone else. We as human beings become very happy when we buy something we like. And how do we buy these things? My money. This thing proves that money is a source of happiness. As Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel-winning psychologist, once said, money just buys you the circumstances that allow happiness to flourish. Therefore, money is not only important but essential, more important than happiness itself. Because happiness is not just about smiling or feeling good for a moment. It's about living without fear. Think about it. We say happiness comes from spending time with friends and family. But where do we go to make those memories? We go to our park or a restaurant or in a movie theater. And all of this need money. Even simple happiness has a cost. Respected moderator, according to a 2023 study by Cambridge University, 72% of people say that financial stability have increased their life satisfaction and reduced their stress. So it clearly proves that money builds the conditions for that happiness to exist. Thank you, respected teachers, moderators, judges, chief guests, and my fellow friends.
Thank you, Manha. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite the first speaker and group leader from the opposition team, Mihi from class 6, to present her opening statement. You have 3 minutes. Please welcome Mihi from class 6.
I'm here to challenge a dangerous lie. The idea that money is more important than happiness. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. This is me, Mihi of class 6, also the group leader of Teen Spark. Happiness is the true currency of life, a vital purpose that money can only serve, never replace. Money is only necessary for basic needs. It can never be the true source of happiness. True happiness comes from experiences, not possession. Now, what do you need to earn money? Obviously, knowledge. Now, money might buy you education, but the true outer knowledge and curiosity of learning can never be bought with money. My opponent team focused on money, but let's say one more thing about happiness. Look at the 2024 anti-discrimination students movement. Those students didn't demand more salary. They demanded justice. They risked everything for dignity, showing us clearly happiness and fairness are worth more than anything. It is also important to note that if a natural disaster strikes in and wipes out all bank accounts and currency tomorrow, which group will be better off? The person with a huge bank account or the person with more community ties, practical skills, and good health? It is obviously the second person with more survival skills. Another important thing is that Prophet ﷺ once said, wealth is not the abundance of possession. Rather, true wealth is the richness of the soul. By the way, Michael Jackson, the legend in the music world with a net worth of $500 million was very insecure about his appearance in the early 1980s. Yet, so he got a skin surgery, and in 2003, he got a nose job, which narrowed his nostril tip and bridge. And later on 2009, he died because of overdose of drugs. So, did money bring his happiness? No, it didn't. So how can my opposition team say that money is more important? Therefore, I strongly oppose the motion. Money is more important than happiness. Thanks for all of my esteemed judges, moderator, chairperson, and everyone present here for your kind attention. Assalamu alaikum.
Teachers, honorable guests, and my fellow friends, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me, Mihi, the second speaker for the motion. Kelly Munger said there are a lot of things in the world that is more important than money. All that said, some people do get confused. I play golf with a man who said, what good is health? You can't buy this with money. Happiness feels good, but money keeps you alive, healthy, and free. In 2023, a study by Kahneman and Princeton said happiness continues when money increases. Happiness is important, but money provides the foundation for it. Without money, you can't afford education, healthcare, or even a safe home. Money is a symbol of success. In today's society, money often symbolizes prosperity, power, and social position. People aim for greater pay in life to improve their lifestyle and great respect. Both serve a purpose. Money is needed for our body, while happiness is for our mind and heart. Life is about a balance, a give-take, where each has its place. Money ensures this, making happiness possible and sustainable. I think money and happiness are connected. When we have money, we reduce stress, our survival, and this allows us to enjoy our life. Money allows us to help our families, support friends, and contribute to our communication. Helping others through money also brings happiness too. Without money, can you purchase anything? For example, a poor family struggles without enough food, even if they love each other. Thanks for having your patience to monitor judges, teacher, fellow friends, and my chief guests.
Often misunderstood. Is money more important than happiness? At first glance, the answer appears obvious. After all, money can buy luxury cars, grand houses, exotic vacation, and endless comfort. But happiness is not about possessions or temporary pleasure. It is an emotional state.
Hello. Temporary pleasure. It is an emotional state, a sense of fulfillment, and a deeper connection to life that money alone cannot provide. Consider to the Consider the life of Vincent van Gogh, who lived in a poverty yet found joy and meaning through his art. Express.
Time check to pause bracket. Time forward.
Hello.
Okay.
Consider to the life of Vincent van Gogh, who lived in a poverty yet found joy and meaning through his art, expressing emotion that touched millions of people long after his death. Contrast some millionaires who, despite unimaginable wealth and report of isolation, anxiety, and emptiness. This illustrates a vital truth. While money can make life easier, it cannot buy a meaningful relationship, inner peace, or a sense of fulfillment. Let me tell you the last 3 wishes of Alexander. When Alexander, the great king, was dying after conquering most of the world, he gave final 3 wishes to his generals. Number 1, he said his coffin should be carried by his doctors to show that no one can escape death, not even the greatest king. 2, his path to the grave should be covered with gold, silver, and jewels to show that worldly wealth stays behind. 3, his hand must be left hanging outside of his coffin to show that he came to this world empty-handed and living in the same way. When Alexander took his last breath, he realized money, fame, and power could not buy him life or happiness. Thank you to all.
Thank you, Khadija. Thank you very much.
Down every illusion that the opponent has tried to build. The opposition keep chanting that happiness is spiritual, that is emotional, and that it comes from within. Let me ask, can a starving man earn happiness? Can a student remain happy when he cannot afford the means of happiness? No, because even the most spiritual happiness comes from financial security. As the Greek philosopher Epicurus stated, not what we have, but what we enjoy includes abundance. But to enjoy anything, you must first have the means to access it. Money has universal value. It feeds the hungry in Africa, educates a child in Asia, builds hospitals in Europe. But happiness is subjective, fragile and immeasurable. What makes one person happy can make others miserable. Our opposition keeps claiming that money can buy love, peace or happiness. But ironically, they debate in a room built with money. They're using microphones purchased with money. They say happiness is priceless, but every way to it demands a price tag. Ladies and gentlemen, let's face reality. Money governs the whole world, not feelings. Power does not come from smiling, it comes from resources. If happiness is the ultimate goal, then why does the world chase financial success first? As the legendary Oscar Wilde said, when I was young, I thought money is the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. Money is measurable, transferable and powerful. Happiness is abstract and momentary. Which one would you build your life on? Honorable judges, let me conclude with a small truth. Money gives you happiness. Without it, it's like a flower without soil, a dream without hope. So dear judges, let's not be blinded with emotional idealism. Happiness is divine. Money is essential, and in this world of reality, essential always wins. Thank you, honorable moderator, respected chairperson, judges, intelligent audience, and my worthy opponents.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you very much. Now it's time to hear the third speaker.
Understand teachers, honorable chairperson, esteemed chief guest, moderator, audience, my fellow classmates, and my worthy opponents. I am Marnia, the third speaker of the opposition team, Team Spark, strongly disagree with the motion that money is more important than happiness. In a world obsessed with health and possessions, people often forget that money can fill wallets but never your hearts. Let's take it easy with examples. Princess Diana was born on 1st July 1961 in England. On 29 July 1981, she married Prince Charles in a wedding watched by almost 1 billion people. Behind the census, her marriage was troubled due to some false information. The marriage officially broke down in the early 1990s. Diana and Charles got separated in 1992 and got divorced in August 1996. After divorce, she was still a wealthy princess. Her rest of her life was full
of sorrow. Therefore, we can learn from the story that having a lot of money without happiness is totally useless and meaningless. Let's talk about some more. Rabindranath Tagore, Bengal's great poet, believed that money was meaningless. In 1913, he won the Nobel Prize for his poetry. He used his wealth to build a school for the human harmony. Rabindranath Tagore thought that the ultimate freedom and joy are found in the soul, not in the bank accounts. True value is in creation, not just from some notes or currency. Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, the billionaire who still struggles to find peace. People think that he must be the happiest person in the world, but in reality and in interviews, Elon Musk has said that he often works all the night and rarely gets time for his family. Another important point is that Finland is considered as the world's happiest country for 8 years straight. On the other side, Singapore is the richest country in the world with a net worth of $1,52,915 per capita. And that is why, because Finland's happiness comes from excellent social support and trust, while Singapore's riches status is based on its high average wealth and strong economy, but it still lacks social support. Now, I would like to ask my opponents from Team Flame that if money brings happiness, why would so many rich people still feel lonely? Why do we earn money? Let me guess. It's very obvious. Obviously for happiness, so our real goal is happiness. Happiness is the real treasure. If you're not happy, what's the use of our money? So my dear friends, I firmly believe that happiness is a way better and much important than money. Thank you everyone for your kind attention. Assalamu alaikum.
Good morning again to respected teachers, moderators, judges, chief guests, and my fellow friends. My worthy opponents argue that money is not more important than happiness, but they're missing the bigger picture. I asked them, can joy feed a starving child? Can happiness pay your hospital bills or your other expenses? Happiness do not fulfill everything on this world. A London School of Economic Study 2021 found that financial insecurity is one of the biggest causes of stress, family conflict, and unhappiness around the whole world. So while money may not buy happiness directly, but without it, misery is almost guaranteed. Respected moderator, opponents often say rich people are unhappy, but unhappiness among the rich people isn't caused by money, it's caused by the misuse of it. As Warren Buffett, one of the most successful and famous investors in the world, said, money just makes you more of what you already are. A good person uses wealth to create comfort, safety, and opportunity, not greed. Some claim poor people find happiness even in small things. Yes, they do, but that happiness fades away when survival becomes difficult. A Stanford University report 2022 reveals that over 80% of people living below the poverty line suffer from anxiety or depression caused by financial pressure. So poverty may bring momentary smiles, but not lasting peace. Opponents might also argue that money creates greed or selfishness, but money itself is neutral. Respected moderator, money is a tool, not a temptation. It depends on the character of the person who holds it, not on the paper itself. And for those who say happiness is more important, I ask, if happiness is enough, why do people work every day to earn money? Even the World Happiness Report 2024 proves that the happiest countries on the world are Finland, Denmark, and Norway, which are also among the wealthiest. This shows that financial stability provides the foundation for a happy life. So I strongly believe that money is more important than happiness. And my answer to my worthy opponent's question. They say if money is more important than happiness, then why do so many rich people suffer from depression or loneliness? Because money doesn't automatically create happiness. It simply provides the means to achieve it. The problem isn't money itself, but how it's used. Even happiness requires a foundation of comfort, security, peace of mind. All come from financial stability. Thank you, respected teachers, moderators, and judges.
Moderator, and once again, good morning to all of my dear judges, chairperson, moderator, and audience. Money is obviously not more important than happiness. My dear proposition team asks that money does not fulfill in everything. Even though money does not fulfill everything, it is the final goal. My friends from the Team Flame is also claiming that without money, we can't receive our basic needs. But what are we saying is that yes, money does not fulfill our basic needs, but it is obviously the final goal. For example, Sylvia Bloom was a frugal secretary while amassing over $8 million. She never changed her simple life, proving that money is separate from happiness. We must also consider that money cannot buy true love. For example, look at Bill Gates being the 13th most richest person with a net worth of $115.1 billion US. Yet, after 27 years of marriage, he was divorced with his wife. So Team Flame, can you tell me, if money is truly more important, can it buy back his wife back, as Bill did refer to divorce as his biggest mistake? My esteemed audience as judges, imagine you have to choose between your mother's life and $1 million. Who will you choose? Let me guess, your mother's life. Why? Because the joy you get from your mother's life is way more than some million notes. Therefore, I strongly oppose the motion, money is more important than happiness. Thanks for all of my esteemed judges, chairperson, moderator, and audience to hear my speech with such patience. Assalamu alaikum.
Respected judges, teachers, chief guests, and my fellow friends, believing that power is much more important than money, is much more important than happiness. Happiness depends on opportunities and security which require money. Without money, even basic survival is stressful, which makes happiness impossible. Respected moderator, the University College London 2016 found that people with higher income live longer and stress-free. In a summary of 45 studies, some co-authors, and I found that people with higher and lower income live longer and it makes them happier and they serve for a long time. This shows that money can buy some people happiness. So while money alone isn't happiness, it is essential to access it. Dear audience, if we look at our school building, the management, they are building a new floor. By how? How are they building a new floor? By money. They are buying bricks, tiles, door, by money. And they are happy because they have more children in school. Poverty destroys peace. I stand firm, money is indeed more important than happiness. So I ask my opponent team that, can you please tell me guys, how can you access the opportunities that lead to happiness? Thanks to all.
Thank you, Arun.
Good morning, honorable judges. Team Flame paints money as the ultimate source of happiness, yet they overlook the invisible chains it often brings. Money can buy vacation, but not the thrill of genuine curiosity. It can buy party, but not the ladder that comes from shared struggles. It equates with joy, but real happiness thrives in uncertain growth and human connection. Things money can package or sell. Team Flame wants to measure happiness in zero on a bank balance statement. But life doesn't work in calculation. It works in empathy, experience, and purpose. Let me tell you the 3-0 theory. The 3-0 theory was introduced by Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Peace Prize from Bangladesh. He said our world is rich in resources and technology. So why people are still poor? Why graduates are still jobless? He said he believed we can build 0 poverty by supporting social business instead of profit-only business. 0 unemployment by encouraging people to become job creators, not job seekers. 3. 0 carbon emission by developing technology and lifestyle that protect planet. Lastly, I want to ask a question to Team Flame. If the solution already exists, so why are you moving in the opposite direction? Thank you to all.
Judges and my worthy opponents, good morning again. I am here to reveal the truth hidden behind the opposition emotional war. Money can buy happiness. Is this it? My question is, then poverty buy it then? Because happiness cannot survive without financial foundation and stability. As Suez Orman said, a big financial freedom is having your heart and mind free from worrying about your life. Opposition says happiness comes from within. True happiness, but true. But happiness needs a comfortable environment, and money builds that environment. Let me throw some questions to my opponents. If happiness is so harmful, can you live happily without food, medicine, or healthcare? If happiness is not important, why do we work, study, and earn for it every single day? If happiness were the measure of success, then why does every nation depend on its economic power? The opposition cannot answer this question directly. According to a 2010 Princeton University study by Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton, happiness increases proportionally with income. Psychologists have proven that financial instability can lead to anxiety, depression, and then suicide. So dear judges, happiness is a feeling, but money is a foundation. Happiness colors life, money builds the canvas. So in this world, money is not luxury, it's need for survival. Thank you, honorable judges, opponents, and my worthy opponents. Thank you.
We are now entering the rebuttal round of the debate against the motion that money is more important than happiness. My friends from the team Flame have argued that money can save a person's life through a surgery in the hospital. Even if we need the money for the surgery, there is a huge chance of surgery to fail. On the other hand, surgery can never cure a body properly. It needs a specific lifestyle too, meaning even if a surgery is necessary, it isn't the only solution. My friends from the team Flame has also argued that money gives us security and makes life better. Happiness can't feed you, but money can. Without money, people can live comfortably or happily. Let me begin by saying the answers. Comfort and happiness are not the same. Many rich people still feel lonely and stressed. Real happiness comes from peace of mind, love and relationships, not luxury. Security without happiness is totally meaningless. What's the use of a big house if there's no joy inside it? A happy heart is more powerful than a full wallet. True, money helps us survive, but happiness helps us live. Survival is not the same as living a good life, but without happiness, even world feels empty. Cyclone Isla in 2009 caused the death of 330 people. 8,208 were missing and over 1 million were homeless. Cyclone Cedar in 2007 generated in the Bay of Bengal. Its speed was about 160 km per hour, caused the death to 3,447 people. Well, can I ask a question? The people who were killed might have a lot of money, but did the money help their lives? Did the money save their lives? To recapitulate, I firmly believe that happiness is much better and more important than money. Thank you everyone for your kind attention. Assalamualaikum.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where even the simplest smiles often need security behind it, and that security comes from money. Respected moderator, according to a Yale University study 2022, people who feel financially secure report 40% higher emotional stability than those who don't and are under financial stress. Another Oxford economics report found that people's happiness drops sharply when they face money-related problems such as debt or job loss. Money is not evil, it is essential. Money is the foundation of basic survival and security. Money builds comfort, provides opportunities, and protects dignity. As Bill Gates once said, money has no utility to me beyond a certain point, but it has enormous utility in helping others. So let us face reality. Happiness without money is fragile, but money without happiness can still build the path toward it. Lastly, I'm going to say a quote by Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States of America. He said that money is not only the answer, but it makes a difference. So I stand firm, money is more important than happiness. Thank you, respected teachers, moderators, judges, chief guests, and my fellow friends.
We are entering the final argument against the motion, money is more important than happiness. My opponent team argues that money is more significant. But the most recent incident, the plane crash in the Milestone School, completely turns the table. There, hundreds of students died, and later on, the parents did state that even if the government provides them 1 crore taka, the life of the students and the pain in the parents' heart can never be removed. Another important thing is that my team Flame, imagine you win this debate. How would you feel? Proud, excited, excited, and most importantly, happy. So, can money buy that happiness? Are the teachers providing you money? No, they're not. So technically, you guys are also fighting for happiness. Therefore, I strongly oppose the motion, money is more important than happiness. Thanks to all of my respectful teachers, judges, and chairperson to hear my speech with such patience. Assalamu alaikum.